time for the Wattpad lovers. I got you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be talking about books that I've read, books that I want to read, books that I've started to read, all under that umbrella. Yeah, I'll be recommending some books to the groups of people who read these kinds of books. So I will be reading off my phone. I guess you can divide it into categories between like not romantic at all, romantic, and then the rest that just don't really fall into place at all. Okay, so I'll start. So one of my favorite, okay, it's not like one book, but it's like a series. It's the Alex Rider series, and I'm telling you guys, this book, oh my days, I don't know, it's just this thing, guys. It's just so cool. It's just so nice. Like the suspense, you know, when like you're watching like a Hobbs and Shaw movie, like, and then I don't know, it's just so I don't even know how to explain it. It's a funny thing actually, I didn't start the Alex Rider series from the beginning. I started like on the third book, but like I feel like it wouldn't even make a difference if I started from the beginning or not, because like it flowed, but at the same time it didn't. I don't know if you guys have felt that when reading like a series. You understand how it links, but like you don't know how to explain. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's basically what I mean. And there's a thing where the fonts of the books, it's just, I don't know, every time I read an Anthony Horowitz book, there's a specific font that he uses, especially in the Alex Rider series. It's, I don't know, it's just so sophisticated. And thing is, the book it's like about spies. This boy called Alex Rider, his uncle was part of MI6 and his uncle died, and so automatically he joined MI6 as well. Excuse me. And so he just completes missions, and it's much more interesting than how I'm explaining it, but it's just like, wow. If you're an action fan, I suggest that you read this book, or if you're like just an open person who's into reading any kinds of books, I really suggest this book. It's just tops amazing. It really sucks that I didn't finish the series. I think there's like 10-11 books. I know a lot, but I really love those books. Second book, Danny Dingle's Fantastic Finds. So I don't know if it was just me. In my primary school, we had this thing where this book company, bookstore place came to our school once a year, and they'd sell books. And we'd go first break, second break, and like anytime during the day when our teacher allows us to go, like as a class. And I remember there was only one time when I actually had money. This is the book, guys. I don't know, it's just a really cool book. I like that it's blue here. And it's just, I really like the book. It's like really childish, and at the time I wasn't the biggest fan of reading, and it was just the perfect fit. Like, I don't know, just amazing book. It's by Angie, and if you're a child watching this and you're not too deep into reading, maybe, I don't know, this is for you, but this is one of the books I read. Yeah. Next book is yeah, that's all for that category. Now for the romance. Frankly in Love. It's a book by David Yoon, Nicola Yoon's husband. So this book, so David Yoon is Korean, right? And this book is just based around that, and this Korean American kid who obviously lives in America. So he is like into the whole Californian culture, and like he doesn't really want to stick to his parents' rules of you have to date a Korean girl, you have to marry a Korean girl. So to him it's just like, bro, you brought me to America, do you really think I will stick to those rules? But I mean, whatever. And then as the book goes by, he tries to figure himself out if he really wants to abide by those rules or he wants to break them. And just along the book just goes on like that, and at the end of the story he just finds out the answer to that question. I feel like I'm not doing the best job at explaining this book, but it's a really nice book. It's like a coming of age book, you know, and it's like really cool. Yeah, I'd recommend it if you're a Nicola Yoon fan. Yeah. Next book is The Sun Is Also a Star. Funny enough, I actually haven't even watched the movie. I've also based on like this Korean guy who falls in love with this Jamaican girl who's about to be deported, and they meet for the day, and he introduces her to his family, and obviously conservative immigrant family that they don't want anybody else in their little circle, and they're just like, bro, what is she doing here? Why are you bringing her to my store, bro? She's just supposed to be a normal customer. Why is she here with you? But I mean, that's not the point of the book. But yeah, love story. It's a love story, really cute. As I said, if you've read any of the It's All the Boys books, or if you've watched the movies and you just like reading books like that, then this one's for you as well. Or if you've even read Everything, I wish I read Everything, yeah, then this one's for you. And then time for the Wattpad lovers. I got you. So this book is called Maneuver by Chelle Bliss. So Maneuver is such an interesting book. Very interesting. Oh my days. Okay, so this girl Delilah actually lived with her dad, who is not the best person in the world, and he chased her out because he's not the best person in the world. And so she had a kid. The father, the baby daddy, also isn't the best person in the world. He's just that guy that, like, I don't even know. Anyway, so she moves to a new town, and like she moves at night, just in the middle of nowhere, just this tiny ass town. And you're just like, bro, where are you going? There's like so many other places. But anyway, she's here and she goes to a bar, mind you, with the kid, a baby, crying out loud. But I mean, we live and we move on. She gets there, and obviously at bars you get those big guys. It's like, hey, sexy lady, you know.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And then the owner of the bar is there, and he's like, hey bro, just like leave her alone, eh? And then she's like, oh my gosh, can you just like leave me alone? I can like defend myself, eh? And then you know those girls that are like independent, but they know they need help, but they're still like, you know. But anyway, so the guys at the bar still do their thing, and then eventually the bar owner's like, bro, just like get out or out, I don't even want to see you here again. And then they leave, obviously drunk, but they go anyway. And then the girl's like, oh my gosh, thanks. And you know, obviously for the bar guy it's like love at first sight, but for her it's just like, thanks, you know. Yeah, and then things get deep. So she had no place to stay, and since the bar owner helped her, he could see that, like, it's pretty obvious, my guy, you're coming to a bar with a kid, what are you doing here all alone? And so he picked up the hint, and so he had a spare place, you know, did the things, helped her and all those juicy things. And then things happen. So yeah, they spend time together, and as we all know, be it a movie or a book or whatever it is, if a guy and a girl spend time together, they're bound to fall in love. So things happen. Happy ending, of course. It's a love story. Yeah. Yeah. And then All the Bright Places. I actually have the book here. I actually haven't finished this book. I watched the movie. the main reason why I'm reading the book after watching the movie, even though that's not really logical for a lot of people, is because, as we all know, books and movies that are the same aren't really the same, because they leave out loads of things from the book, and sometimes the movie just becomes a completely different story, and that's why I'm reading the book, to find out if it's completely different. But I know it's along the same lines, but I really just want to see how this book is and how it turns out, and see how Finch and Violet end up. Yeah, but this is a nice book. I think it's a love story with a tragic ending, from what I've seen in the movie. I don't know, but yeah, it's a really nice book from what I've read and from what the movie showed me. I recommend. I guess I could also recommend this book to Nicola Yoon lovers. This is by Jennifer Niven, if I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah. But the next category, which is just the books that just don't fit anywhere. The first one is called Life on the Refrigerator Door by Alice Kuipers, along those lines, guys. So I could say a heartwarming story between a mother and a daughter. So this book, it's about this thick, but there's barely any words on the pages. And it's not like Danny Dingle's, where it's like a few words and pictures. No, it's like basically they leave little sticky notes on the fridge. That's how they communicate, because they barely see each other. Mom works night shift and daughter's out all day, and by the time she comes back, the mom is already out. So the mom leaves a note for the daughter, and then when the daughter leaves and the mom comes back, the daughter leaves a note for the mother, and that's how it goes. And then yeah, that's basically how the whole book goes, and each page is a note from one person. It's like a really heartwarming book. I don't even know who to suggest this to. It's just a really nice book if you're a person who likes heartwarming stories, and also even if you're a person who's open to any genre. This book is like really nice. It's really sweet, very heartwarming. Yeah. Anyway, next book is Lucy in the Sky by Anonymous. Guys, oh my days, this pretty thin book, about like this thin as well, maybe a bit thicker, but along the lines of. This book is basically a diary entry kind of thing of a girl named Lucy. So basically, like, also not really, I would say a bit of coming of age, but also like rebellious, but also like thriller. I don't even know how to explain this book, but it's this girl named Lucy. Excuse me. She lived in Iraq her whole life, so she doesn't know anything. But as she grows older, her and her brother are very close in age, and so as she grows older, she's introduced to the things that her brother knows and stuff, and she gets to know things, experiences things, and things go south. And I don't know if it's just me, but is anybody else like, they're not even like halfway, they're still at the beginning of the book, but because it's that part of the book that they're at is so interesting, you go on the last page to see what's gonna happen. And yo guys, please let me know in the comments, guys, if anybody else does this. You know, it's like self-sabotage, literally. You know that you're spoiling it for yourself, and then imagine going to the back of the book and then like character dies, and then you're like, oh well, should I even carry on reading? But obviously where I was like so interesting. I was like, please, can I please, this better not be true. Anyway, oh my gosh, yeah. And then guys, that book was just, I really recommend it. And then there's a book called Kook, right? Not C-O-O-K, but K-O-O-K, by Vick. Guys, can I please just tell you, this book, I'd say this book is also like kind of romance, but also lies in the nowhere. It's a love story between a boy and a girl, obviously. And so this girl, she's very much rebellious, and the guy likes that. He is very like innocent, if I can say. Like he has not experienced a lot of things, and so this girl is into surfing, and she teaches him how to surf, and they like that's like where the arrow's pointing in this book.
Okay.
Surfing. So Kook means like a wannabe surfer, and that's what this boy is. So they get together, things happen. Then oh guys, the end of this book, oh my days, honey. Oh, it's a really nice book if you're someone who's into like romance but also not too much of romance. This is for you. And then, have you guys ever read a book, amazing book, beautiful, but then you just forget the title, like you want to read it again? Guys, that book, I read it twice. I remember when I read it the second time, my primary school in grade 7, we had this thing, a reading challenge, where you read a book and each book has like points, and if you get a certain amount of points, you get a bookmark. So 25, 50, 75, so on. And I sacrificed my points because I had already read that book before we started the reading challenge, and I just had to read it again. Like, I really hope I find the title of this book. But guys, if you've also felt this way, just let me know in the comments. I really hope I'm not the only one. Yeah, so that's all for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I'm not the only one who feels this way about certain books. I hope you guys subscribe, and as I said, leave a comment. Yeah, and please share. Yeah, and a thumbs up.